Hey everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Amazing. How are you?
Doing great.
Hello.
Come on in, everybody. Shanika is naked, it looks like.
I know. I can't see you. All I see is this nice skin.
She was doing the breast campaign. Okay.
She has on a purple shirt representing domestic violence awareness.
All right.
All right. Hey, everyone. Please let us know where you are tuning in from. We have just a little bit going on before we logged in, but we are here nevertheless, and we have a lot of topics to cover before we get off. So let us know again where you are tuning in from. If this is your first time, let us know it is your first time here. If you are a returning guest, let us know how much you love us by sending up some hearts. We really like hearts. And please share with your friends. All right. This is the time to share. All right, guys. How is it going? We already covered that part. How
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No.
What's wrong? What's going on, Shanika?
I went to work on Thursday, and like I love my clients, but I'm done. Like done. Like I'm like my body. Like I went into a store twice in one day, and the last time I went, I came out. I was going out the store, and I was standing. I just stopped, and I was like, "Why is this door not opening? Like, why is the door not opening?" And my brain was like, "Because it's not an automatic door."
Oh.
The door. I was like, "Oh, it's time for me to go home. It is time for me to be at the house because my brain is done."
Well, you didn't run into the door, right?
That's what my sister said, and I was like, I was one step from running into the door because I was about to yell out, like, because I was in the hair store and I was about to yell out, "Why this door not opening?" But then it was like, my brain was like, "Girl, you're not in an automatic door."
Man, I wish somebody caught that on camera.
I know.
They would have said, "Check out this lady. I wonder what she's smoking."
So yeah, that has been. But I'm glad to be back to work. I'm glad to be home. I'm glad my clients miss me because I miss them. But
How long have you been gone?
I was gone for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's a nice.
Yeah, I was saying that too. That's like a nice time to kind of get away, decompress.
Yeah.
And you were away by yourself, right?
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
How's it adjusting to getting back home?
It's okay. You know, it's just like I took a couple of days to get myself back together at home, but then, getting back to work and just I don't know. I think I needed the 21 days. I think it refreshed my mind, and I think that if I had to recommend anybody doing it or for anybody to do that just for self-care, like I think that people should do it. Because you remember the one time I took a 30-day vacation. Remember that? You remember when I did that?
You take so many. I don't recall that.
Well, I did a 30-day vacation, and that was definitely a good experience too. So I always recommend, anyway, that people take the time that they need because it was refreshing. Even though I was taking care of something, but I still, had the moment of kind of just like, okay, let's regroup here. Let's regroup. But anyway, enough about me, guys. What about y'all?
Well,
go ahead, Chanel.
I was thinking about reaching out to one of my travel agent friends because I'm really feeling like this, vacation by yourself kind of thing. But I wanted to go somewhere that's safe. Because I've had an emotional week. I'm just gonna be transparent. My week has been emotional. I've been doing some spiritual cleansing, all kinds of things. And I just was saying that, I want to go away and I want to be by myself, so kudos to you, Shanika. I mean, you inspired me. But my week has been emotional, full of growth, though. Growth.
So we're still on that spiritual plane, that journey.
Oh,
that journey to wholeness. Yes, I understand.
Everyone take a deep breath and
So what do y'all think? I mean, I know that this was our introduction, but what do y'all think? What do you like? What's the longest vacation you all have taken, and how long do you think you should go on vacation for? I don't ever think like 2 or 3 days is enough. Like I never.
And do you think it's ever safe to go by yourself? And where would you go?
Yeah,
like
I do think it's safe to go by yourself.
For sure. I mean, it's different I'm sure it's different for women, right? I mean, I'm sure that's a factor that you consider. But in general, there's dangerous places everywhere. So when people are like, I'm not going to Mexico, it's dangerous there. They're all like, there was a shooting around the corner from your house.
right.
Like, what do you mean? So, I mean, I think sometimes people exaggerate how dangerous other places are because they ain't never been there. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I think 3 weeks is like a perfect long vacation. Like 4 weeks to me, it's like, man, I might as well be living here. 2 weeks is like great if you're just like, I just need a break from work. But 3 weeks is that sweet spot where you're like, man, like I really got away. I did all this stuff, and now I'm just back. Like that takes an adjustment.
3 weeks, that would be crazy. I think.
Yeah, I've been to South Africa for that.
I think I would too. I haven't been anywhere longer than a week, honestly.
Try it out.
Anywhere longer than maybe a
You'll
little
be surprised. You'll be surprised that things like when you really like, because I went with the intent that I was going to do all this stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to watch TV because where I was, it was just kind of like that's how it went, and it was very, and I watched TV. I saw some stuff, and I was like, okay. Now when I go back home, it's like, okay, I can move forward, just with some things that I have kind of like procrastinated on. And then you get to reevaluate, you reevaluate yourself, your life, your everything, and just see where you need to improve in certain areas and things like that. But at any rate, guys, not 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks is best. 2 weeks.
I'm glad you got to get out. My weekend was my mom's birthday. We went to Fogo de Chao. It was nice. It was very nice. My mother's birthday. It was my mom's birthday.
Well, where'd you go?
Oh, Fogo de Chao. It's a Brazilian steakhouse.
Oh.
So I was going to say Brazilian. Ooh,
yeah.
I thought
it
was nice. But okay.
Yeah, they come around. I mean, you could get all kinds of food, but like the main thing is they bring this. Yeah, they bring the cut of meat, cut it right in front of you, and you can ask for as much as you want. It's good.
We have a couple of
money
spots like that here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's my mom right there. It was great.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Yeah. Oh, yo, my birthday. Okay, but anyway, that was that part.
Scorpio season.
Yes.
I'm not a Scorpio.
When's your birthday, Shanika?
Thursday.
Oh, what are you doing?
Happy early birthday.
I'm going to see my kid. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's mama there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get right into these.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yes. It is a lot to cover. Thank you, y'all. It is a lot. It's a lot to cover. And y'all, I hope y'all have been into just kind of like following what's going on the news, or just not even in the news, but just up and down your timeline. Thank you, Mimi. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Now we moved from talking about Dave Chappelle, who is still in the news and still things that he's trying to do. And now we have moved over to who I told y'all we were going to talk about last week, Meek Mill. And I'm sad because I couldn't get the picture pulled up. I'm sad about it. But if you don't know or haven't seen, Meek Mill, he has an album cover that is very risque. And this album cover is or has been used to wrap a bus, a public transportation bus. And so it is a white guy who basically did this video and said, Black women, is this what you all want? Is this what you all want? This is what you want. Look at this. And he's going completely off. So if you were to Google Meek Mill or whatever and pull it up, you would see.
I think I can get the photo for you.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
It is right there. This is the photo. This is on the public transportation bus. Okay. And his PR people have paid to get this on the bus. And so the gentleman was just like, this is disgusting. Why would you want this? Why do our daughters have to see this? And Black women, is this what you all want? So my question to you all guys is, because so let me just also say this. So for anybody who's familiar with Killer Mike came out and said that he stands with Meek Mill because this is a form of art. Because if you were to walk into a museum, then you would see naked bodies, and this is what you see, and it's a form of art. And so my question is this art? And why? Because I've only seen it once when it first came out. I haven't seen it anymore. Why are we not really outraged by this?
Yeah, because I haven't heard a lot about it.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, say it again.
No, so I just think it's very interesting, the dynamics of this. And I know that we were comparing this to the Dave Chappelle, the outrage that.
Right. We were saying
when we were talking about that, I had made the point that different people have different struggles. Like, to me, I look at it and I would just be like, it looks stupid, and I wouldn't pay it no mind. But I was outraged with Dave Chappelle.
Right.
So
right.
I'm just taking an assessment of my own feelings, trying to figure out why I'm not so outraged with this one. So I'm interested, who on the panel is outraged with it, and why?
I am outraged. I am okay. Now, I don't necessarily say outraged, but I'm more just disgusted by it, because I feel like when this person, the white guy pointed out, and then I'll go into what Meek Mill's reply was. What the white guy pointed out. If you could put the picture back up there for me, like the white guy pointed out, this woman that's bent over between her legs is pink. He was like, we all know what that is. We all know what that is. So my thing is, if I were walking, because I do not have younger children, but if I were walking down the street with my nieces, and my nieces had to be subjected to this, or any, I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't even know what to say. I can't even say it's art. I can't even say, okay, you can take it down. I can't say anything. I don't even know what to say. But I just feel like, and it also just lets me know what people deem to be art and what people deem not to be art. And then Meek Mill's reply was to the white guy was, there's little black girls dying every day, and where was your video when the black man was being strangled by a white man for 9 minutes? That's what his reply was, which was even more disgusting than the picture. So, so what do you all think? What audience, what do you think?
Amir, I can see Amir thinking. What do you?
Okay, well, first, I mean, to me, the lyrics are really where we can go. This is offensive. I think it is a piece of art, and I'll honestly say, well, first off, who created the artwork? Did Meek Mill personally draw this? In which case, I'll say, man, I didn't realize he could draw. You know what I'm saying? But really, I found out that a black woman actually was commissioned to do the album artwork, and that makes everything more complicated, doesn't it? Because
it does.
She didn't find it offensive. Now, I think I can agree with you, Shanika, that if I was walking down the street with some kids and this went by on a bus, I might take a second to go, what am I seeing on this public transportation? I mean, I think I can agree with that, but in general, I think it's fine.
What is it supposed to be saying? Is it supposed to say something?
That's a
I think when I read it, it was just like they needed to pump up his album, and this is the way that they thought to do it, was to put it. He got the money, I guess, and his PR team came up with, let's put it on this bus. And I mean, but then I'm begged to, well, not begged, but then my question is, how old is the young lady who came up with the drawing?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think in this situation, we could kind of separate, the artist's interpretation, because if most pieces of art, in most cases have to be interpreted by the artist, and especially being that this person was a woman, I would like to kind of listen to what her interpretation of it is. I do feel like it is offensive, but it wasn't a big deal to me. I mean, it is offensive, somebody bent over, but what is her interpretation? That is kind of like the life that we live. This is what people do. Why did she put that pose in her artwork, and what does it mean to her? I would love to get deeper into what her thought process is, because honestly, we don't know. The piece of art could have been done before the album, and maybe they chose it for the album. Maybe it was already out. I mean, I just would love to know what her interpretation is, being a woman, to have a picture of a woman bent over with her vagina out.
Right, but when you say this is what we do, like what do you like? Who?
Well, okay, let me clarify that. What I mean is, this is what we experience in our world today, with how women behave, and as shining light on that in this way, putting on a buzz may not be the right thing to do. But I'm just saying, I want to know what her interpretation of it is. Like, as a young woman, what are you saying here?
Okay, so I need you to put that back up for my mama, because my mama said it's art, and mama, that is not. I mean,
now, just to say, let's quote this photo with "This is what women do," right, Chanel?
Right. So, mama, you have 2 daughters and 2 granddaughters, and I'm sorry, 3 granddaughters. So 3 granddaughters, 2 daughters, and this is like, if you, mama.
Now, your mama just saying she know that this was some women do. Amir, let me put some women.
Yes. Yeah, I just want to be clear.
I get it could be a form of art to some people, but I am just not I just know that my mama, we're not going out the house with rollers. We're not going out the house with a bonnet. We're not going out the house with our pajamas.
We're not bending it over. We're not bending it over.
And if she even slightly sees some butt meat, she mad. So I don't understand how.
Not the butt meat.
So, like, no. I'm sorry. No. All right. So.
Oh, wait, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I do think, there's something to say about it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. And the album, I think, is called Expensive Pain. Yeah. And so for me, if we think about it like that, people, if it's Meek Mill at the center, he's got a tear, clearly this seems to be what he thinks his life is like right now. And maybe he's not so happy about it, right? Maybe he's like, this is all my life is a bunch of expensive stuff and women that he's maybe spending a lot of money on. I'm not saying this right. I'm just saying, I'm trying to interpret it just as is. Like, maybe there's a deeper meaning behind it for Meek Mill.
Yeah, maybe. I definitely have to go in, because you haven't even heard anything else about it. And I think that was pretty much my thing too. Like, why are we such an uproar about one thing, but not in such an uproar about something else? That,
right.
That still has his depiction of what Black women look like. And then, it just, his depiction of Black women, and they're still not really an uproar. No women. And maybe there's a lot of, Meek Mill fans out there that's like, oh no, like, I'm a Meek, it doesn't matter what he does or how he does, I'm this. But this over here is very, offensive, and it's not considered. And then I also thought, this is my other thought too, that it was like the action and not the words. So it was like Dave Chappelle said, Meek Mill did. So because he didn't add any really words to it, like to be offensive, it was just a picture. Like maybe like that was.
He left it open for interpretation.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, for me, it was the fact that a white guy decided that this was his hill to stand on, right? Like, now, if it was just a bus company, I'm just saying, like, if Greyhound decided that this was going to be their new advertising campaign, I think I would be offended. But when I'm thinking this is a rapper who really doesn't have the best reputation, honestly, in my opinion, it's not like this guy has been, out in the community in a different light his whole life. This is something I expect from a rapper. Like, if it was President Obama's, mural on the back of his house, I'd be like, But it's Meek Mill, a rapper who yells on every track. I don't even know what he's talking about.
I don't even know what music he had. But, so what do you all think? Do y'all think that it's, again, like, is it art? Is it not art? And while y'all process that, we are going to move on to the next story. But is it art? Is what Dave Chappelle put out, is that art or is it offensive? Is what Meek Mill put out, is that art or is it offensive? And, you know, what are your ideas? What are your takes on it? You know, my mom said, as Kiana said, she said what she said. My mama said it's art. So,
well,
it could probably be both. Art can be offensive.
Yeah, I mean,
there's beautiful pieces in galleries that cost a lot of money that depict a lot of injustice, a lot of pain. I was
going to say that,
yeah. And like each person has its own interpretation of it.
Right. I remember being a kid going on field trips and walking past museums, and they have sculptures outside that's the first time I really saw penis and testicles. Was a sculpture.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have been to that Baltimore, the Slave Museum or whatever, that they keep talking about. They said that it's like really graphic and people cry and all that.
Oh,
I mean, that's art, but just to see, like, yeah, it could be offensive depending on through the eyes of the beholder, basically.
Right.
How you see it. But like Amir said, I'm not surprised coming from him. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Kanye or Ye's. What is his name? Ye now? Ye's album cover. You know?
We don't know what his name is. He don't know.
Yeah. But okay, we're gonna move ahead, like Shanika said. So this next thing I want to bring it up is Kelly Rowland. So I'm gonna talk to y'all, family. I had a rough day. So I went to, this is just between us. I went to the doctor this morning, right? Thought it was cute. Got up early, got dressed. I was dressed really, really nice today because I just felt good. I just felt like doing it. Got to the doctor. I had my mask on, checked in. This chick behind the counter, she just kept staring. I was like, okay, I understand why she's staring. But, you know, get back to come out, and she comes to check me out. She said, you know what? Has anybody ever told you that you look like Judge Mathis? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. My day has been effed up ever since. That's why I keep looking at it. I'm like, do I look like fuck? Do I look like Now, I called my mom, called my brother. He said, well, you got to remember you had the mask on. I'm like, yeah, but this chick, she didn't have, I wanted to clap back, but I didn't. So that's just my little segue. I'm like, so I've been looking at all his pictures. A couple of them, like, okay, we got the same forehead. Number one, this dude like 100 and some years old, I'm sure. But yeah, a little pissed. But we're gonna go ahead on. I just had to get that out.
Look like Judge Mathis, okay?
Well, he's not exactly ugly. I mean, you may not look like him, but I mean, it's not like he is.
That's not what I got dressed for, though. I would have got dressed.
Now your glasses look like one of the pictures he has the same kind of glasses.
And I didn't even have these on.
That's about it.
So Lynn, who did you go out the house to be today?
Just my best self, because normally I just get up, roll over, and put it on. But today I got up early. So, I'm gonna look cute for my clients today, and I thought I did, but wrong. That was the wrong answer.
Well, hey, just like we talked about, it's all about perception and interpretation. Think about it.
There you go. But okay, so Kelly Rowland was insulted on social media by someone who said this, and I'm a quote. She said, Kelly looks amazing with makeup, but take that makeup off and it's tickets. I have receipts. So, without saying a word, Kelly clapped back by posting a picture of her in the same bathing suit, in the same pose on a similar boat, looking absolutely amazing. So those who don't know what the art of clapping back is the act of or the art of responding to criticism, insults, or any form of attack or rudeness by putting someone in their place online or in real life. So let me just show you. Okay, this is the chick. Can you see? That's her. He said Kelly look back. So Kelly on the boat.
Yeah.
Kelly on the boat, same bathing suits. Kelly found the same bathing suit Same boat, same water.
I am upset. Child.
Skin glowing, hair going.
Now, did Kelly Rowland have a caption for it?
No, you don't have to when you do clapbacks like that.
I was just curious.
When it speaks for itself. So I want to know, how do you clap back when you guys, you know what, I wasn't reacting strong enough because I had some choice words for her. I'm going to do it when I go back in 6 months for my checkout. Because trust me, I'm going to remember it.
I'm going to tell you, that was not an insult.
How do y'all clap back?
Oh, God. I kind of want to hear Shanika.
I think you think that I don't know how to act. I know how to act.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you don't clap back. I just feel like you got clap back. Right? Doesn't she seem like she has some good comebacks? So just saying.
Yes. Oh, I know she do. I know Chanel do. And it's quiet. I know Amir does as well. Here's you probably got to think about. You probably realize it tomorrow.
That's me.
She's gonna tell you something intellectual. You're like,
yeah. I am an Amir. Like I'm a thinker. So I gotta go play the whole conversation back again. And then
so you don't want to be like, did she just?
Yeah.
This bitch just cover me. All of this cuteness and this bitch just trying to cover me.
You the one got a friend like me to be like, baby, she just.
You gonna take that?
Okay, because my thing is people don't know. Like people know what they see. Okay, people know what they see. And so for me, I don't ever feel the need really to clap back to people because my whole everything around me is enough.
Mm.
Sometimes you just gotta let people know you know.
You do.
Whether you say anything or not.
You do gotta let people know.
Whether you say anything or not. Kelly.
Right. Kelly didn't have to say anything.
Some people do. Some people do need to know that I know that you tried that shit.
Right. So what Will is saying, how do you go about that?
Yeah, how do you do that?
It's for me. Okay, so let me tell. Okay, so I had this one and I probably told you about it. So when I opened up my first salon, I was working at a salon, and the person that owned the salon that I was working at told me that I didn't need a sign any bigger than a restroom sign for my billboard sign, like the sign in front of for my salon, because I was so far in the back, nobody was gonna see me. So my silence became what she hated the most. So when she would come my way, I would go another way. Or when she would try to talk to me, I wouldn't say nothing to her. Till finally she had to come to me and was like, well, why didn't you invited everybody else in here to your new salon, but you didn't invite me. So I went and I looked through the door and just kind of like saw. And I was like, but why would you want to come somewhere that I don't need a sign any bigger than the restroom sign? I didn't think he was interested. So I mean, that's what I thought. When she said that, I was just like nothing. So a couple of years went by, and I saw her at a vendor event. She was a vendor in an event, and she was like, "Hey, come over." And at that point, that's when I got it. That's when, because I always feel like when God wants you to revisit stuff, it will come back again. And when it came back around, I was prepared to say what I needed to say to her. Like I would never tell nobody that I didn't learn nothing, but you ain't right. You are not right. So I always feel like if God wants you, and I had to learn that God's wrath is way bigger than anything that I could ever do. Because see, I'm one of those, I will send black roses to your house. I killed you in my head 15 times, and I'm just trying to figure out how I can get away with it. And because I can't get away with it, I'm gonna need God to just go ahead, because I'm Scorpio to the bone.
Ugh.
Like I could be nasty. And I was black roses to your house, and I would not even
Will's face. That triggered a whole flashback for her. Scorpios.
I'm married to one, and I know it. Oof.
Oh, bad. Oh, okay. So for me, I think honestly, I'm just gonna have to admit, typically people have to clap back to me because I've attacked first. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't mean it like that, but I just mean, a lot of people know I got sly comments. or I'll say something. I'll just, just a little joke here or there. I like to pick on people. I'll remember something somebody said for years. Oh yeah, remember? Oh, don't say nothing to me now, because I remember that one time when you messed up. Like I'm that kind of person. Like, I mean, sometimes I'll let it slide if it's really bad, or I think it could lead to fighting. Though that's when I pull the person to the side. I don't like embarrassing people like that. You know what I mean? I want everyone to be able to laugh. But if somebody's looking like they know they're about to cry, I'm like, okay, let's go to the side. Like, hey, I ain't like what
You go
said
that
to me.
far? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, I wouldn't. I'm saying I wouldn't go that far. If I think it could cause like a fight or it could make somebody really upset, then if I'm mad at them, I'll let them know on the side. Like, hey, I didn't like what you said back there, and I'm gonna need an apology. Maybe I'm an Aries, so I'm like, I need that immediate gratification. Like, we need to talk about this now, or I'm gonna say something right into your face.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Let me find out. You got a little nasty in
here.
I try my best to be nice. I'm a nice guy. I'll let my wife speak on that.
You're a Virgo.
No, I'm an Aries.
Oh. I don't even get into astrology. I just wanted to ask. I'm just joking. Look, because I know a Virgo that's nasty. Anyway, for me, I just address it on the spot.
Mm.
I mean, everything don't punch me, like ooh, or make my eye twitch. But when it does, I'm gonna have to address it on the spot. But I do so. I don't raise my voice. I'm never gonna argue. I'm gonna just state my business, and we're gonna move on. Hopefully, if they can move on, and I say that because I can move on. We can fix it and be done. But I don't. I fix things for me.
The fixer, okay.
For me,
respect it.
That's addressing it. You have to set clear boundaries in your life for how people are going to behave in your life, how they're going to treat you. So, I mean, yeah, and especially when the pot calling the kettle black, I make it known that.
Yeah, that's immediate. That sets me off. Like, oh, hold on, I know you're not talking. Like,
Yeah,
I grew up with people
and
making fun of everybody. So.
She's like, I know you're not finna. Okay, let me post this bathing suit real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, as Will said, like some things don't even require you to entertain, and sometimes your silence is best. And I'm a holder. I hold on to stuff. So like, see, because and that's the thing too. I feel like with Scorpio people, like we hold on to stuff. It's like people have told me stuff like, as they say, your hairstylist know where you hid the body. Okay, like I know stuff about people but I'm just like, don't screw over me. Don't screw over me. Don't do that. Because I mean, and that's just my mentality. Like I would never just outright tell your business, but don't screw over me. And I'm nice until I can't be nice anymore. I don't think that I'm really like, I do have triggers, but I don't think, I'm not just out trying to, I let you think that you got the best.
Yeah, and for me, maybe we should have a show about talk about toxic traits, because I think one of my toxic traits is if the punch like really hit me to the point where I don't think it can like be repaired, I won't address it. It'll just be what it is. Yeah, and I'll never see you the same way, feel the same way, or deal with you the same way.
Oh wow.
Ooh. That's deep.
And that's compartmentalizing stuff. That's
it is. You are now in this box, and you have permanently been moved over here to this box.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You're compartmentalizing, right? Like you it's like, okay, I used to leave my purse around you. I no longer can leave my purse around you. So you are now over here because you still. And so, we still. So you have to go over here.
Yeah, that may be a little toxic for me, I don't know if it may be a difference, but maybe cross between. I don't think it's holding a grudge. I just think I deal with you differently now.
I think you're just learning from past behavior. You're learning from your experience. somebody tries to stab you in the back, you definitely don't want them behind you for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think, thank you, Amir. You made me feel a lot better on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, make sure you all continue to share, and it's at least 11 people up here, and we've only heard from 2 people. What are your thoughts? Will, go ahead. What do you do? How do you clap back?
It's best that I don't, so I try not to.
Hurricane.
The gays are infamous for reading, and it's ungodly. It gets horrible, it gets loud, and it's just best if I don't go there. So I try to ignore you. I try to laugh. No, baby, before you know it, I'm on the floor. It's a mess. It's just a mess. So it's best that I laugh with you, as long as you don't go too deep. But if you go too deep, you're going to end up in tears. It's happened before, so yeah. It's just
I think that's the right
side. It's just best for me to giggle and go on with it. But if you keep pushing, it's not going to be pretty.
Okay, tell me this. Tell me what one of those buttons.
One of those buttons. Don't talk. I don't do gay stuff. I don't do very, very shallow gay stuff. Those stereotypical jokes. I've had to go to the barbershop and deal with that stuff before, so they don't do that no more. That's it. I don't go too much with your mama jokes.
You said you had to go where and deal with that?
The barbershop down the sidewalk from the shop.
Dang.
Like y'all know where it's at, but yeah. So sometimes you gotta make your respect. We can joke about it, but when I think you cut joking,
right?
You trying to laugh at it, but you really trying to go there. I gotta let you know you can't. That's not a place that you can.
And there's a tone, right? You can tell. Like, we not that close. We not close. You over here.
Nigga, I don't even know you like that for real.
Yeah. Yeah. I support that. I support that approach. Will 100%. Like, nah, you go too far. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, I want to definitely get to Chanel and Amir today because we just threw 2.
Okay, Amir, what you got going on?
No, nada.
Okay,
nada.
Oh, nada. What you got
now? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jerry wants to hear yours.
Okay, well, I posed a question to you guys, and I just said, well, tell us one opinion that you have that most people wouldn't agree with. You know, what is it? You know, that most people will find offensive, that you would stand on as a personal opinion. Mine is that I do agree with, and this comes back from last week with Lizzo. I just don't think that bigger people should expose themselves. I don't. That's my opinion. And me being one, I'm one. I was bigger, but I just don't like it. And I know we in this body positivity, but my opinion is I just don't agree. I just don't think that it's tasteful, and it's to me, it's not pleasing to the eyes. And I do feel like that, you know, as a bigger person that I was, there are ways that you can dress that are appealing. They can be sexy and becoming, and you don't have to expose. I just don't think it's appropriate. I don't like it. That's my opinion. I think they, whoever considers me me the they, should cover up.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should cover up outside. I was at Walmart today, and there was a plus size person. I would say about a good 24, size 24.
Where's this going?
I'm just saying.
I'm helping you get there. Come on.
Those pictures. Y'all seen those pictures where people take pictures from people from the back in the line and shopping line? It was like that kind of situation. Why? And I understand the stereotype. I know that if it was a smaller person who could wear it and they wear it well, it wouldn't have been that situation. But I just agree. That's my opinion. I think put on some clothes.
I'm just imagining if you went up to her and talked to her about it.
She would have
yeah, she would have clapped back.
She would have did the neck roll.
She would have snapped on me like Will.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep it to myself. I just look, I keep on moving. But I just don't think I don't prove my personal opinion. I think they should cover up. No, I do not. I agree with Lizzo's photos, like her body positivity photo shoots, but I don't agree how she be coming out the house.
Okay, but if you're just asking,
what y'all got? What do y'all?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry. What?
I thought you were frozen.
Oh yeah, no, she's not frozen. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right.
I found myself like just on Facebook. That's really where those opinions come out. Like, where people just seem so sure about what they know. It's just, there's so many things. I mean, it could be racism, it could be Hotep, stuff where I'm all like, look, like the word Hotep itself isn't bad, but what you're doing with it is wrong, or stuff like that. Or okay, here's one. People get mad at me when I say that alpha males and alpha females do not exist.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. There we go, right? So there's someone, right? And I try and explain it, but it's just a part of our culture, I guess, where these terms have come into play. And once you hear it, you're just like, yeah, that sounds right. I know somebody who's a leader of their group of friends or whatnot, but I guarantee you the science does not back it up. And the science that people think it's based on also didn't really come to any conclusion. So it doesn't even exist in wolf packs. They're just family members, so the person who did the study, who came up with the term alpha male, and if they don't, they don't really talk about it like that.
But I don't think in terms of my idea of when people talk about alpha and beta, like it's not in the sense of being the best. It's almost in the sense of being. Oh, so did I miss it? Okay, it's also in the sense of being like more. I guess, as you said, more of the leader type role, more of the, and then everybody kind of like, it's like, okay, I'm going to take the lead. I'm going to be the head of household. I'm going to be this. Whereas in some relationships, like the man is not necessarily, or the woman is not necessarily taking the alpha role, but more of a kind of a passive role. It's like, okay, we're going to do this together. We're going to come together to do this. So I think that in the terms of when you say better, I think people may have the definition of it wrong, maybe.
I mean, I could agree with that. I think that being a leader doesn't make you an alpha. And I think by definition, it's just the definition itself. It's just not, I think what happens is people equate it to your nature. By nature, I'm an alpha. That's who I am. I lead people. Everyone follows me. I walk into the room. They all see me. I'm just like that. I'm that person, right? And I'm telling them, I'm like, maybe learn that behavior. It's good that people like you, but it's definitely not natural.
That's interesting.
That's the thing that people don't like that I say. That's all I'm saying. Oh, we got more.
That's not even something to be, like, that's not even something to like, not to like. I mean, that's definitely.
I could see how a person who feels like they're alpha wouldn't like it.
Yes. Specifically, the people who really feel like they are. I'm telling you, it's the type A personality, right?
Okay, now with that, like having because I think it's the type of personality. Now that is some truth to that, like the personality type situation, like that is. And I think that some people misinterpret that and equate it to the alpha situation instead of actually going through and realizing the personality traits or whatever. But but that's just interesting. But let's go to Will, and then I'll come back to that. But anyway, okay, so Will.
Mine is going to be really challenging. I wasn't going to say anything until something just popped into my head. Nate, my ex, we were having a conversation about actors. We were watching, I forgot what show, but we both agreed, and we couldn't find too many people to agree with us, that white actors and actresses are better than black ones. And I've studied them, I've looked at them, and I don't know why they are, but they just are. Even down to Denzel. Denzel, what are the ones we call that? Angela Bassett. Some of the great ones. They're kind of like typecast. They're good in their roles, but it's the same roles. And I was watching this thing on, I think it was Hulu, 9 Strangers or 9 something people with Nicole Kidman. Did you guys see that? You should go see it. Regina Hall, who normally she was on like that. She's always on funny movies, especially black ones. She attempted to do like a dramatic role.
It did not work.
It did not work. It did not work. It did not work. There were moments that were good, but I didn't buy it. But what's the girl that Megan? What's the girl? The heavy set girl that lost the weight, the funny one that was in Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy. Who was always in funny movies. She played a serious role.
And she did very well.
She did. I was like, oh my God. So I'm trying to figure out why is it, I don't want to blame everything on racism and, we didn't have this and that. I'm trying to figure out why are they so good?
But when you look at the array of movies or the amount of movies that a Melissa McCarthy is in versus a Regina Hall, and like, is it that you have? Are you really, are you practicing your craft? Are you really honing in on your craft versus the black people? It's like, or do they know I'm only going to be cast for this type of movie, so I'm not really practicing as much because I don't really want to be into that, be in that type of movie anymore. So let me transition over to here. But they don't really have the ability and the skill, but they were cast for anyway, And I think that once you move over, because I mean, even people used to talk about Halle Berry in Monster Ball and like how he was, and then in Cats.
She got an Oscar for that.
Right. And so it's like, what do you, I don't know. Like when I think about Melissa McCarthy and the movies that she's played in, and she's, it's several funny movies that she's played in. But then when I think about Regina Hall, like I think she might have played in Married, when she was a stripper, was she a stripper in the one? Is that her?
Players Club.
Oh, she was in that?
No,
that was the other girl. I was the one where I was in the
all friends, and she was gonna marry this guy. But
yeah. You talking about Girls Trip?
No, okay, wait a minute. Are we not talking?
I remember Regina Hall.
Regina Hall was in Players Club. She was Candy.
Was she?
Dang.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she was.
That would lead more to me saying
the
roles aren't written for them.
It was The Best Man. She was in The Best Man. She was
Candy. Right.
Yes.
I remember Regina Hall from the Scary Movie franchise.
Right.
Yes. So so she hasn't really played in any movies where she had to, because in Best Man she was loud.
Yeah.
She, and then in the Scary Movies she was, she just had it was a parody, so it didn't like she had to be. It was meant to be funny. Like, so I don't think that she has, and a lot of black people maybe are trying to transition over to that and come out of these, leaving those things for maybe the younger generation. I don't know. But
that's what we were saying. Because we were saying that the Melissa McCarthy serious movie was outside of her norm.
That's out, yeah.
And she killed it.
I mean, to the point where I was just like, oh my God, why did that happen to her?
Strangers, yes, when they all meet on this
island. The retreat. You need to watch them. I binge watched it in 1.5 days.
I haven't watched
it. It is amazing. It is totally amazing. Yeah.
Now for me, I think it's like, it's a combination of a lot of things. I don't think it's that black actors and actresses aren't taking their job serious by saying, well, since I'm only going to get this movie, I'm not going to practice. But I do think that the writing has a lot to do with it, the directing, and Black people are put into very specific roles, and we've seen it over and over again. It's to the point where if we're not an animal in an animated series, it's like all the Black characters in the animated series, there's like a specific voice they have to do. And I know it's because the producers in the studios want them to sound like that, because they're like, oh, we love that. Can you sound like Eddie Murphy when he was the donkey? Can you do that? Like, or can you do like a Denzel? And I can tell that they have a few actors or actresses who they're like, okay, these are the best Black talent, and we want you to be like them, or we don't really want you at all. Because I think that's why it's always coming out with those stereotypical kind of characters, whereas white people really have the benefit of being a blank slate. And even if Melissa McCarthy is seen as funny per se, I think it's easier for them to get out of that typecast than it is for a Wesley Snipes to get out of action movies. Right? Like, like I think he was in that one movie with Eddie Murphy, but that was it. And that was supposed to be Dolomite. And I was like, man, he did that. Like, I really felt like he was that character. But part of me was like, man, he's lucky he got that role. Hollywood doesn't let him do anything. He doesn't really look like he's an action star anymore. So what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
So do you think that now, because I also see that there's a lot of Black stations, or like, ones now you have to subscribe to and all this kind of stuff on these other like different channels and stuff. So do you think that they're going over to there? Do you think that they're possibly going over to those channels versus staying in the...
Well, they've always complained about the injustice and like the roles people not writing for them.
Right.
Like we were saying, the roles not being written for a Black person.
Right.
Because I've heard, who was it? It was an actress who said she's waiting to play like an affluent woman in a movie, but she always gets cast as like the other woman, or it's a supporting role. And, the roles just aren't being written for them. Other than Tyler Perry.
Yeah, and I'm part of a network where, model calls and, stuff come out via email, and they are very specific in what they're looking for. Very, very seldom are they looking for African American person. It's usually either racially ambiguous or Caucasian. And I mean, that's just the bulk. If I had to count it out, it would probably be at least 80%, 75-80%, where it's Caucasian or racially ambiguous.
Yeah. So I guess this is their effort to like claim the power by coming to like BET Plus or what all the little substations that they're creating. But that's still years in the making to be considered, I guess, equal to
I agree with you, Will. You have a third party with you and Nate, because I agree.
Okay, thank you. Shanika?
So we're out of time, guys.
No, we're not. We got 5 minutes. And wrong answer. I want you to sit here and pray to God for an answer too, like I did.
We are currently out of
time. I gave you plenty of time. You think of something.
Oh my gosh. I don't necessarily think that I really have an opinion that others
come now
would disagree with. I think if I could, not necessarily if I could, like I wouldn't be against having a contract marriage. I wouldn't be against.
That's interesting. What does that mean?
Very.
What does that mean?
I would not be against let's see how like a 6 month, like, because I think that I even think that marriages should be I think that people should really do more evaluations in their marriage than they do. And I think that it's just like when you get an evaluation on your job and you're being evaluated every 3 months, every 6 months, every year or whatever, and you get a raise based on your you get a raise based on your performance. So, I just feel like, all right, well, let's just see, like, how is this going to go in 6 months or 5 years or, whatever. And we reevaluate it in that amount of time. I wouldn't, because I think that sometimes people stay married sometimes for the wrong reasons. And I think that perhaps that would cut down on, maybe, I mean, it's just other factors for me. Like maybe it would cut down on domestic violence. Maybe it would cut down on, just other things for me. Like if there was a matter of you having to be in this contractual, if that's the word,
I think that's the word.
Yeah. So situation with somebody, like I think that's the one I think that would make, that would charge people up and like really like probably by the time I get downstairs, my husband probably gonna be like,
oh really?
Sign on the dotted line.
Oh really?
That's the person who's been married 26 years, really.
Yeah.
Because I think that being, I mean, like, again, I mean, it's no shame. Like I got married when I was 21. And, the situation with even the young lady that you and I were talking about, she's 18 and she married this 60-year-old man. Hey, baby.
Ooh.
She married this 60-year-old man. So it's just like let somebody be, you go to this therapist and it's on a 5-year contract and let's just kind of like see. And in those 5 years, you have to go to counseling, or you like at least 6 months. I just think that, it's just some things that if people did, maybe marriages would last longer, or people would think twice about getting married and not take it lightly and do what they're supposed to do when they're in the marriage.
That's a tough one. We need to finish that one. I'm saying, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, goodness, that was pretty good.
I did an essay on that one.
You wanted to skip that, Shanika? What's wrong with you?
I know that.
So you agree with? I remember we were talking about the Tyler Perry quote when he was talking about. I had went and found it. That said, Tyler Perry said, "Before you marry someone, you need to see them in all 4 seasons. They're happy, mad, stable, broke, and been hurt, etc." I felt that because we sometimes wonder why people change on us, and it's not really changes. Sometimes you just haven't seen people at their worst.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I feel like even with my husband, like, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I think it's weird when people say I married my best friend, and I'm like, that's weird, because when I think about my best friend, which is young, like I met her in middle school, and what you like 11, 10, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, and I'm 40, I'll be 48 on my birthday. So like for somebody to meet somebody within 3 months or a year and you said that I married my best friend, like how? Because I mean, it took me a long time to get to know my best friend, and I just don't like, I just think it's weird when people say stuff like that. And I just like analyze stuff. It's like, how did you conclude that this person is your best friend? How do you even conclude that you really like? And that's what I say. Like, I think that when people get married, like, I think like, or being in love, like that's just very odd to me when people say that, being in love with somebody. And, but I'm not saying it's not.
You lost me.
I'm
lost. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish it tonight. But I'm lost. So you don't think that you can marry your friend?
No, I'm not saying I don't think you can marry your friend. But I just like when people say I married my best friend, and I'm just like, it takes to me like, okay, how long does it take for you to establish, or your best friend? How long did it take for you to establish that relationship with your best friend?
Right. So I'm wondering when they say that. Well, I guess that would be I'm marrying my best friend. But I think in retrospect, even though we went through hell after 16 years, I do identify Nate, and Nate identifies me as best friends. Even though throughout the relationship, 16 years, it took us to get to that point to realize that we now have that. And that's what kept us through.
That's my point right there. Like at 26 years, I can look at Walter and say, this is my friend. But when we got married, I wasn't like, this is my best friend.
Yeah. Unless you dated for 15 years, there are people who dated,
Well, how long do you think it takes to be able to call somebody a friend? Would it be, and I know that's subjective, but I think it would be based on my particular, what I have experienced with that person, or what stages of my being that I have, what stages have I been in, and that person has seen me through that. Like I couldn't call somebody my best friend who haven't seen me at the bottom. Because I don't even know if they would stay.
You know? Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what people go through, but I mean, I'm just saying for me, when I read and people like, I married my best friend or I married my best friend, it just like for me inside, I'm just like, how did they come to that? How did they come to say, or is it just, is it just a cliche that we're saying I married my best friend? I have a problem when people just throw stuff out there like, I'm saying I love you. Like me and my husband, like he'd tell me he loves me, but am I just saying I love him back because it's cliche? That's what I'm supposed to say. I
think we can go on a case by case basis, honestly, because I'm like, sometimes they're not best friends. I mean, like, or if you see a couple, maybe they've been together for 20 years, but they're always bickering or arguing about stuff, and you're like, man, like. I mean, sometimes you just kind of see it and you're like, are they really your best friend? I mean, it could be as simple as y'all don't even hang out. Y'all don't go on dates. He goes on his golf trip. You go on your girl's trip, but y'all don't like hang out on a regular basis. Right. Like, are y'all really best friends? But then you have couples who are separate, are connected at the hip. Every time they're always together, always doing something together. Right. I think those are best friends. I mean, you have arguments with your friends, but really what makes them a friend is how you interact with them and what you do with them on your spare time. It's like, is my wife my best friend if she's always in the other room and I'm always in the garage working, tinkering with stuff? Like, it's just,
right.
If we spend time together, I think it's okay to say, I married my best friend. This is someone who I spend a lot of time with doing things that we love to do versus I used to spend a lot of time taking care of the kids together. Right. Or, spend a lot of time just being in the same house. Like, that's not a friend.
Right. And not only that, do you like each other? Like,
yeah, do you even like them? Oh, God.
Right. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like at 26 years, when I was, even when I just feel like when another adult person that you are married to has to wash you, like, okay, like you didn't see me. Like, you didn't really see me. You didn't have to get down in my, I think that becomes, okay, you start to, because it's a bit, even up to the point of me having my daughter and I had to rely on him to wash me. And I was just like, ugh, like, and then I had a whole cesarean. So it was a lot with that. And it was just like, okay, but anyway. It just like when I look back on things like that, like, okay, I'm like, okay, but up on at the initial point of marrying him, that's not what I was, saying. But I mean, I think about stuff a lot. So, like we could go on and on because I really I'm a thinker.
Good job.
Good
job, y'all.
So yes, thank you all, everyone, for tuning in, for responding, for being here with us with another night of the chat. To make sure you continue to share. Like, we don't really like about 20 people from having 1,000 followers, and it's probably not even 20 people. So please continue to share and follow the chat. Bring a friend, tell a friend, bring a friend, bring another friend to bring a friend.
Yeah, and we'll keep bringing you great content.
Exactly.
Yes, let us know. Let us know again. Like, let us know, like how we get, with the hearts, and you all send up hearts. That's
right.
That's
we want you all in the chat to to actually participate in the chat with us to help us know if we talking crazy or if we're talking the truth.
Right. Right. And you enjoy the content that we're bringing you all because we don't really know if this is like what you want to hear, or there's something that you have found or came across that you want to ask a question and you want us to talk about it. But you just have to let us know. But do you watch Squid Games, Amir?
Oh man, Squid Games was crazy.
Okay, so we have a request to talk about Squid Games. But anyway.
Be sure we can talk about
Squid
next week. There we
go.
Will
you see Squid Games?
I have no idea who she is. Who is she?
Well, if we're talking about the main character's daughter, let me stop.
I cannot scare you. I cannot scare you.
You sound like me. Somebody asked me if I watch P-Valley. I said I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh! And season 2 is gonna come out next the beginning of next year thing. Oh my god!
Already? Dang.
Yes, that I saw it like towards the maybe like the beginning within the like first 5 months or so. I'm so excited! I cannot wait.
What, P Valley?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said Squid Game. Oh,
no,
I was like, what? Isn't it just?
Does the P stand for?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That part.
Yep.
Oh, I had no idea. Maybe I will watch that.
You'll go watch it now, ain't you?
You have to watch it. I mean, it's a little crazy, but you have to watch it. You have to. It's yeah. Anyway, all right. So Squid Games, we'll see and get some little insight on that. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much. Thank you. We will see y'all next Monday. Ooh, November 1st.
Is it next Monday? Yeah. See you then.
See y'all. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.